Welcome back to the kitchen at Andersen Acres. Today we're going to be making challah bread. Yes, the C is silent, so it is pronounced challah bread. This is a traditional Jewish bread that one of my friends she gave me the recipe because her grandma made the best challah bread I'd ever had in my life. So this is a similar recipe to that one. The first thing we are going to need is 3 eggs. However, we need to reserve this egg white. Just 1 egg white. Everything else is going to go into the bread. So the way I crack eggs is going to seem a little silly, but I literally take the egg, okay, I take my egg, I literally drop it in there till it cracks. Then I just pry it apart. Sometimes this one I did get lots of shell in because my thumb did a weird thing. That's okay, we just fish the shell out. But I crack eggs like that because my hands are a little unsteady, and cracking them regularly usually leads to me really smashing the yolks. So I just crack them like that, not a big deal. Okay, now we need to save that white. We are going to put the yolk in the bread, but the white we need to save for a wash. So I'm literally just going to scoop it out like this. This is the easiest way to separate a yolk. Pop the yolk in the other bowl. Okay, perfect egg yolk, no big deal. We're going to set the white aside. I'm going to put the little lid on it because we're not going to need this white for a while. So we're just going to stick the lid on it, stick this in the fridge. Now we need this. So I'm going to try not to destroy these eggs, but that's why I'm so careful with the first one, because I need the yolk intact. This one, it doesn't matter if the yolk's intact, but it happens to be. So you're going to use your other 2 eggs. Okay, gently. So you now have 3 egg yolks and 2 egg whites. That is going to go straight into my bread pan. I am going to use a bread pan to mix the dough. That's just easier. So this is a very egg-heavy dough. So because there's so many eggs and we're still only going to use 3 cups of flour, we're only using half a cup of water. There's already a lot of moisture in there. If you find you need an extra 1/4 cup of water, you can add that while the dough is mixing. I don't find that, but we're pretty humid here right now at this time of year. So add an extra 1/4 cup of water if you need to. You may not need to. So then we're going to take a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, so not very much salt. Kosher salt goes really well in this. I'm using Himalayan because that's what I have today, but often I have kosher and use kosher in it. This is a tablespoon of just sugar. Easy sugar. Now we're going to put 3 cups of white flour, because that's what I'm using. Let's try not to spill. Yay! 3 cups of white flour. And then we're just going to use a heaping teaspoon of yeast. Nice big heaping teaspoon of yeast. So I'm going to pop that in my bread maker. In about 1.5 hours we will have dough, and I will show you how I braid a challah loaf. I'm really bad at the traditional braid. I am really, really bad at it. So I use an alternative braid just because I'm so bad at the traditional one. I'm really bad. If you know the traditional one and you're good at it, go at it. I'm not. So we'll come back in about 1.5 hours and braid up our dough. So our challah dough is ready. Now, like I said before, I am not going to attempt the traditional braid. I'm not going to do it. I won't do justice to it, so I'm just not going to do it. Not even going to try. Instead, I'm actually going to make 3 braids and then braid those 3 together. So to do that, I need to first divide it into 3. I love using this. You'll have seen that in a lot of my videos. And then divide each 3 into 3. So that 3, that 3, and that 3. Okay, now you want to take these and you want them fairly long, and I want to roll my sleeve up. Jeez. So you want these fairly thin and long because remember you're making 3 braids and you're going to braid them together. Now if you know the traditional challah, then you absolutely should use it. If you know how to do that braid, I don't. I'm bad. I know how to do it. I'm just really bad. And it ends up looking a mess. So I'm just doing it like this. So I am doing these so they're about the length here, about 22 inches is what I'm doing. And I'm pressing the ends down just so it'll stay and it'll relax as I roll the next one. Okay. I'm not going to make you watch me roll these. I'm going to speed this up so you can just see that I did indeed roll all 9 of them. I'm going to roll 3 at a time, and then I'm going to braid them. If you've seen my video on the French bread braid, it's the same braid. Okay, so I will speed this up. So there we have it. 3 braids. Now what we're going to want to do is you want to take the start of your braid, so this one's upside down. You want to take where you started and join all of those 3 together. So I started the braid at this end on each one. This end is going to be kind of the gross end. So you could flip this middle one. I'm not going to bother. I'm going to join these 3 ends. Now this end you start at is always going to look kind of gunk. Like it's just not good. So we're just going to tuck that under. We'll do it a little bit more later. Give these kind of a stretch. Okay, you want to give them kind of a stretch. And now you're going to braid 3 braids together. It's not any different than braiding single strands. Just do that. There's a little bit more moving because these are fatter and you don't want to twist these. It's okay to twist when you're doing single strand braids. With these, we don't want to be twisting these back and forth. We want them to stay this same side up, so that there's going to be a little bit more moving of the pieces here. Okay, so you just keep going till you run out of dough, basically. Okay, and this one here, and then that's about it. So you pinch your ends really well together. Okay, give them a really good pinch because braids do want to come undone. So this end, you're going to do all your pinching. Doing quite a lot of pinching right here because I can tell that that's going to come undone. And then you just roll that under. This end always looks junk, okay? So you tuck the junky part underneath and you just kind of stretch and fluff your bread so it's basically the same. So now it looks nice because I tucked all that junk under there. So we're going to set this aside. I'm going to use the same cookie sheet I've used in pretty much all the videos where I have to set it aside to rise on a pan. So we just put it on the pan. We will come back. It'll take about an hour and a half to rise, but it'll rise very nicely. So you want to check it about every half hour and make sure you don't have your seams at the end punching out and kind of flipping up or popping. You just want to keep tucking those about every half hour just so you can keep it looking neat. Otherwise you end up with some weird stuff happening. So check it every half hour, but hour and a half, maybe 2 hours of rise time, and it should look really good. So we'll come back in about 90 minutes. All right, so our challah bread has risen up nicely. We have preheated our oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. Now we need to coat our bread. Remember the egg white that we had from the beginning of the recipe. We're going to keep that egg white. We're going to add 1 tablespoon of water to it. Then we're just going to take our basting brush and mix that up. Okay, you want to mix it up fairly well. You could use a whisk, but seriously, a basting brush works just fine. So you just kind of mix that up a little bit, just to make your egg white a little bit runnier. And then we just want to put that over our bread. Now you want to make sure you get all the sides and in all the crevices. Now there are a lot of crevices because of all the braiding, so you do want to get all of them because you want a nice shiny crust. Now we're going to top this with poppy seed. You can top it with poppy seed, you can top it with sesame, you can top it with whatever you like. I'm choosing poppy seed just because I really like poppy seed. Right now, if I had made this 2 weeks ago, I probably would have used sesame seed. I go through phases, like everyone. So you can use whatever you like. You can also not top it with anything. If you'd rather just coat it with the egg, you do need to brush it with the egg. That's kind of an integral part of this whole process. Get in all those crevices. Now you don't want it drenched, right? You don't want so much egg that it's pooling everywhere and getting all gross. You just want enough egg to give it a nice gentle coating. You probably won't use the entire egg white, and that's okay. So just look for any spots that are dry. Make them not dry with your brush. Okay, and then just check for any little crevices you may have missed. I missed one here. So you just check. That's good enough. I've only used about half of my egg white. So now I'm going to use poppy seed. Just sprinkle it rather evenly. You don't have to use poppy seed. I really enjoy poppy seed, so I am. So you're going to bake this at 375 for 30 to 35 minutes. Check it at 30 minutes because depending on your oven, it may be finished. Okay, and I'm using about a tablespoon of poppy seed, by the way. So you can use you can use as much poppy seed or as little poppy seed as you like. I'm really fond of poppy seed. So 375 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 to 35 minutes. Okay, don't bake it for less than that. You do want it dark and fluffy and delicious. Okay. A little more on this side because I kind of left this side out for some reason because that's what I did. Okay, so now it's going to go in the oven and we will come back in about 30 minutes so that we can check on how it's doing. I'm sure it'll be baked by then. Back in 30. So this is our finished challah bread. It spent 30 minutes in the oven. It's piping hot. Isn't it gorgeous? Doesn't that look like the best bread in the world? It does to me. I can't wait to break it open. So give challah bread a chance. It's not that difficult to make. It seems a little finicky, I know, but it's worth the effort. It tastes delicious. The inside is going to be soft, and I'm going to rip some off here. Ow, ow, ow! Oh, there goes the steam. That's what the inside looks like. It's absolutely gorgeous. So give it a shot. I hope you decide to try this in your own kitchen. Thanks for joining us in the kitchen today. If you'd like to see more of our videos, don't forget to like and subscribe so that we can keep baking for you. See you tomorrow.